It was a little before 5 a.m. when it happened. Mama Curbs jumped out of bed saying, "I hear screaming." She grabbed the flashlight and she ran outside, and I was barely able to wake up, but I thought, okay, that didn't sound good. So I put my boots on, ran outside, and I went around the house on one side. She came out here to this coop. I was down on this end. I came around the corner of the house right here, and just right where the camera's sitting right now, what appeared to be something very large and dark ran right past me, almost brushed my leg. Mama Curbs was shining the light down here, checking out the chicken coop. This is the temporary silky coop that we have. She was over on this side, on this corner, trying to figure out what was going on, and another animal, something again large and dark as she described it, ran that direction. As she was approaching the coop here, shining the light, something came from behind this and ran over that direction. When we started looking, shining the flashlight around, what we noticed was feathers. You can even see some blood down there, and we lost a silky. I'm just now coming out this morning to clean this up and figure out how that happened. Let's go in and check that corner out. Looks like she's got some blood on her eye. Yeah, her eye got hurt. This is the reason we're building a new chicken coop that is hopefully going to be more predator proof. Got a cat on the roof. We've tried to make this more secure, you know, because we have the chain link, which is not really secure, but then we have the green chicken wire on the outside, and then on the outside of that we have that fishing net. But notice right here in the corner that fishing net doesn't go all the way down. Unfortunately, the silkies like to sleep up against walls and on the ground. It seems like they don't really care to is that cat playing with me? Unfortunately, it seems like the silkies like to sleep on the ground and up against walls. So that's why in the new chicken coop...
I can't tell. I think it's a rooster. But I can't tell if it's the one I got from Florida or not. I think it's the one from Florida.
As we were walking around the coop, we saw more blood and we couldn't figure out where it was coming from. Unfortunately, this guy, he lived through the attack. He's alive, but he has no beak and no face. I'm gonna have to put him down. It's very unfortunate. So that's 2 white roosters lost in one night. A raccoon had to chew his face off. I don't know.
I'm not even sure that's a rooster, honey. I think it could be a hen.
Well, look at the feathers on the neck.
Yeah, but there's no big fluffy tail.
I'm sorry, guy. I got to get that coop done fast. I have to take some extra measures to protect this coop until we can get the other coop done. You know, we thought we had done that, but obviously the raccoons, they just find every little possible hole. So we're gonna have to do better. It's very sad when something like that happens. I do not like raccoons. I just don't. I know they're cute and they have the little mask and all that, but They are vicious, relentless, smart predators, and they take advantage of every weakness you have. For the first 6 or 7 years on this farm, we didn't have a problem with raccoons at all. In fact, I thought this area just didn't have raccoons. I think part of the change recently is a lot of the construction is taking natural habitat away from areas all around us, and I think that's pushing a lot of the animals around. It has to be. So the raccoons have probably just found that there's a pretty decent place over here on Daddy Kirb's farm with lots of little coops to try to get into, and we're in the process of changing that, or trying to change that. With the construction of this coop here is going to be one step forward for the silkies. We have to make some adjustments on the big coop, although the raccoons haven't bothered them yet. And then we have to make some adjustments on the coops over here where the ducks are. In fact, I got to go let those ducks out. When I built these coops, the intention was that they would have the run that they could be in for protection, but then the inside coop with the door so they would be protected at nighttime. So far, that's worked out pretty well. In the morning, we just come in here and open this door. And they have the option. We have the option at this point to let them hang out inside here if we feel like there's a threat, or we can let them free range into the yard. I think for now, until my wife and daughter get home, I'm going to leave them in here. Woo, they're loud. Then later in the day, we can let them out. I am going to try to get some work done on that coop today to help speed that process along. But I'm also going to take some of this sheet metal that we have from the barn teardown and line the outside edges of the temporary coop. Just for, I mean, the raccoons have found that coop. They've already had a taste of blood from that coop. They're going to come back. With those plastic poles tied in with wire at the top, hopefully that holds it up pretty good. I was getting ready to say this coop is getting uglier, but kind of starting to look like a Texas flag. That can't be bad. Three sides now have metal 2 feet up. The front side has the tarp and flower pots and the grate on the bottom of the door. Not perfect, but it is a little barrier. Now we gotta put a rush on getting this other coop finished so that I don't have to keep trying to make that one work. You know, with the the wire and the tarps and the fish net and the rocks and all those things we were putting on there, we thought we were doing a pretty good job, and up until last night it was working. But apparently the raccoon's a little too crafty. So this chicken coop over here, I still have some things to work on as far as design, but the barriers on this one hopefully are going to be enough to keep the predators out. There's the digging barrier, which is the wire, and it's going to be covered in rocks. There's going to be metal on the bottom all the way around, except for where there's wood on the bottom. The door is going to have 1/4-inch hardware cloth, and same with all the rest of the wire. This is the hardware cloth here. Using the hardware cloth instead of chicken wire makes it so that the predators can't stick their little fingers and hands through there because the holes are too small. Chicken wire, you know, it's been used for ever, maybe a century. I don't know how long it's been around. But part of the problem is that it doesn't really protect the chickens if they're sleeping up next to it, and the predators can get through that because those 1-inch openings are still enough for a raccoon to put their little hands through. It would be really nice to have a homestead where you just move in and everything's built and everything's ready and you don't have to think about it or learn about it, but that just doesn't really happen very often. When you build a homestead, very often you have to build the knowledge and the skills to take care of that homestead, and that knowledge and skills you can learn through books and videos and all that, but a lot of times the real valuable lessons come from you know, hard knocks. It comes from life, comes from the predators teaching you how they work, and then you have to work against them. So hopefully for now, at least until I can get that coop finished, this coop back here is a little more secure. Not any more pretty, but a little more secure. And I'll be on the lookout for those raccoons. Thanks for hanging out with me here on the Daddy Curbs farm. Here on the Daddy Curbs farm, I believe everyone has a story and every story counts. I believe your story counts because I believe you count. Thank you for sharing this time with me and being a part of my story and allowing me to be a part of yours. I'll talk to you soon.